And so I was there the first couple of days at Lake Junaluska, and then we had this terrible tornado that was in Plainfield, Illinois, some years ago. People were killed, et cetera, et cetera. I called my bishop, Bishop Keaton, and said, should I come home? He says, no, I think we've got it covered. And so I hung up, but my soul wrestled all night. I called the next morning. I said, Bishop, I can't stay here to finish my training. I need to come home to my district. And so I did. I flew home. I went to my district, Plainfield, Illinois, and probably spent the last 6 or 7 days in and out of there all the time. And I found out that coming home, that leaving that experience was a cementing experience, was an affirming experience for the people of the Aurora district, because they felt that I cared for them. I didn't stay back on flowery beds of ease and just do what I could have done. I waited. So, and one of the things that the people said to me in Lake Junaluska, they said, well, now you can come back next year. But I never went back. And so while I may not have gotten all the training, the tie between myself and the district, because of me coming back and being in ministry, it's strong to this day. I can go back at any time, and every now and then we'll talk about Plainfield tornado. But now I think the penance, the penalty that the church laid on me, I think, I like to laugh about that when I was elected bishop, one of the committees that they assigned me to was the Committee for the Training of DSs and DCMs. And I've been on that committee for 20 straight years. I think it is being in tune with them. And then, as I said before, as you heard me, it's also born out of experience that I had. And when I was growing up in the house of my grandmother in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and that house burned. It didn't burn to the ground, but it burned to such extent we could not stay in it. And so 6 or 7 children in the house at the time, we were all formed out to various families. And so for the length of time that it took to repair that house, we lived apart as a family, and we never came together except when it was time to go to church, because those families had decided that they were going to commit themselves and they were going to take care of our family until such time as we could come back to the house. A lot of the pain, of course, over the years, I repressed. I didn't want to think about it, but the challenge that I face every time a tornado or a tragedy happens, it opens the door. But then what it also gets me in touch with is gratefulness for the people of God who stepped forward, who did not charge my mom, who had no money, and grandmother a dime to care for us, and they were home and family until we could get back together. I will never, ever, ever forget. So when I see them, I remember them and me. So, and maybe that's also all the times in which God has rescued me, God has delivered me, God has helped me, not necessarily just always in tornadoes, but in all the tight places where you've been called to give leadership or to stand up or do what you need to do. And so God has been with me, I believe, on the journey. Not perfect, all sinners fault, the whole 9 yards, but there's no way that I would be at this point without the grace of God and God's help and God's amazing grace. And which makes it even how I got elected a bishop and all, it's beyond me. It's beyond me.